we made the argument, but the court sent a team here. And the team met me, they didn't commit themselves to writing. I said, please, do me a letter. They said no. So they sent a two-man delegation to Abuja, or two-member delegation to Abuja, who pleaded with me to understand the dilemma of the court. Now for now, unless the Rome Statute was amended, there simply was no way they could get involved in the very serious petition that they received from us on this case of Boko Haram. But we made clear to them that they were wrong, and in saying that, in pointing out that they were very, very wrong, we refer to the 2003 report of the special prosecutor, that's Munero Ocampo, the first prosecutor, who said that, and he was talking about the Congo, and I quote him, different armed groups have taken advantage of the situation of generalized violence and have engaged in illegal exploitation of key mineral resources such as cobalt, coltan, copper, diamonds, and gold. According to information received, crimes reportedly committed in Turi, that's in Congo, appear to be directly linked to control of resource extraction sites. Those who direct mining operations, sell diamonds or gold, extracted in these conditions, launder the dirty money, or provide weapons which will also be used for promoting a war, and that therefore they are authors of crime, even if they are based in other countries. That's Moreno Campo. And that these guys can be prosecuted for crimes against humanity. That's number one. Number two, I also refer to the case of Charles Taylor. I'm sure you know Charles Taylor was captured here. Again, contrary to even his own belief and the general belief here, President Obasanjo did not hand over Charles Taylor. President Obasanjo, though was in the US, held in a hotel room in Washington. Bush said he was not going to see him unless Charles Taylor was turned over, If you had a genuine African president, he would just have told President Bush, your country has refused to ratify the Rome Statute. So how dare you to be the enforcer, of the Rome Statute? But Obasanjo was shivering. He wanted to see President Bush, and that was when he was campaigning for his third term thing. Forget what he's saying, that if he had wanted third term, God would have given him. If you read Condoleezza Rice's book, memoir, she put it there that President Obasanjo actually came to plead with President Bush to support third term. And Bush said, no, go back home and comply with the constitution of your country. Obasanjo has never reacted to that. But as I was trying to say, Charles Taylor was taken and was tried by the Special Court for Sierra Leone. And one of the counts was that Charles Taylor was involved in receiving blood diamonds. Diamond for the blood of the people of Sierra Leone. He was supporting the war, fueling different rebel groups, and they are taking over the mining fields, mining diamonds to prosecute the war, and he was being given part of the diamonds and money. I'm sure you also know that this lady, Campbell, went to give evidence against him, and she said she didn't know that the diamond given to her by Charles Taylor, was from the war zone in Sierra. But he was convicted, and that was said to be a crime against humanity. And so I'm saying that with these two cases, certainly you do not need to amend the Rome Statute to prosecute cases of grand corruption. And what we argue is that through the criminal diversion of the money meant to procure arms at the early stage of the Boko Haram challenge, because the funds were diverted and cornered by a few military officers, that war was allowed to almost, take over. No, it took over about, the Boko Haram took over 6 local governments and made it impossible for the Northeast to enjoy peace, contrary to the provisions of the Rome Statute. And we're therefore saying that those who are responsible, those who stole the money, can be rightly accused of crimes against humanity. And I also saw that if you divert money meant for building roads or hospitals, and people now die on those roads, like in the case of Nigeria, thousands of people die on our roads because those roads are not maintained. And when you take accident victims to the hospital, or those who are sick, they also die in our ill-equipped hospitals. Now, if you advance the argument, relying on the case of Charles Taylor, you also can get many of our public officers successfully prosecuted under the Rome Statute. Because the whole idea of Article 7 of the Rome Statute is, if you know that the consequence of your action, or if you assume to know that the consequence of your action will lead to crimes against humanity, you can be successfully prosecuted under the Rome Statute. But again, we can't do much for now because the countries that are leading the world, the so-called international community, are the beneficiaries of corruption around the world. Forget what the Transparency International publishes every year, which we celebrate, particularly the Nigerian media. Oh, Amnesty and Transparency International, has indicted Buhari government or Jonathan government, and we're celebrating it without challenging the hypocrisy of Transparency International. How come you only stigmatize the victim countries and not the receivers of stolen money? In our elementary criminal law, we all know that the receiver of a stolen good is as guilty as the person who stole the good. And therefore, if money taken from Nigeria, from Ghana, from Cameroon, from Venezuela, all over the world, is taken and invested in the United Kingdom, in fact, London is now generally regarded as the headquarters of money laundering in the world, global headquarters of money laundering. But nobody will agree that the British government is corrupt. It is only Nigeria that Transparency International will stigmatize. We have a duty as the victims of corruption to say no. In your categorization, you must also blame the countries that are receiving stolen money. Because if there is no safe haven for this money, for the looted wealth, at the very least, the stolen money will be invested here. At the very least, you know what I mean? Yeah. So they won't take the money away. Therefore, what you can expect from the international community, not the government, you are not going to get any collaboration, not going to get any cooperation from the government of Western countries. The duty of either another civil society organizations in Africa is to link up, have an organic link with the civil society organizations in the West and other parts of the world, and see how such collaboration can expose their own governments so that they can return our looted wealth. In the case of Switzerland, it wasn't that Switzerland, out of generosity, decided to return looted wealth of Abacha to Nigeria. It was the alliance between civil society organizations here and the civil society organizations in Switzerland that has assisted to recover the money. And happily, IDA is working with Global Witness in the United Kingdom to also ensure that a lot of the money that has been traced to the United Kingdom and the United States is returned to Nigeria. Let me end by saying that for the ICC, they're not going to get involved in corruption, case of corruption. The African Court on Human and People's Rights, which is supposed to have another chambers to deal with criminal cases, will also not be useful, because it is also in the convention, the Maputo Convention, that city heads of state will not be tried, which is contrary to the Rome Statute. Whether you're a city head of state or whatever, once you are alleged to have committed a crime against humanity, you can dealt with. But in the case of Africa, we are being told that that will not be the case. But even to let you know that the African Union will not go far. Right now, the African Court on Human Rights has been established since 2006. Up to today, only 9, and the 9th one, the Gambia, only made a declaration last month. Only 9 countries, excluding Nigeria, Nigeria is not involved, have made a declaration to allow NGOs and individual victims of human rights in Africa to access the African Court. So in the case of Femi Falana and the African Union, the court made it clear to me, I think it was 4 against 7, the majority decision. Now come, since your country has not made a declaration to access the court, you cannot bring any case of human rights violation here. And that is the law today. Nigeria has just had a new member now in the court. I think she's Stella. Now, that's Nigeria. Having a member on the court. Meanwhile, you have not allowed your citizens to access the court. So I think the human rights community will have to do much more in ensuring that we strengthen the local mechanism for dealing with corruption. To think that any foreign country will do it, you are wasting your time. Therefore, our duty is not just to allow the EFCC and ICC, because as you have seen, a lot of these organizations will have to look at, or these anti-graft agencies, as they say in Nigeria, will have to look at the body language of the president or the government. Because our own rule of law, our own concept of the rule of law, is not really what we call rule of law. It's rule of man, whereby law is applied according to the wishes of the government. And the difference between us, between rule of law here and the West, was captured by the late Lord Denny, who said in the United Kingdom, no matter how high you are, the law is higher than you. But in a neo-colonial environment like your own, if you're a powerful woman or a powerful man, you are higher than the law. To make the law to be above man here, the NGOs, the civil society organizations, and other progressive forces will have to ensure, in line with the provisions of our Constitution, that there is equality before the law. In other words, regardless of your political affiliation, once you are caught, the law must deal with you. I'm sure you are following the case in Kano. The human rights community or the NGOs cannot be neutral. Lawyers cannot be neutral. We are courts, contrary to the decisions of the Supreme Court. In many cases, courts are saying, thou shalt not investigate cases of corruption. Such orders have to be challenged not just by the parties involved in the case, but by the civil society organizations led by the NBA. In the case of Sowore and the IGP, the Supreme Court made the point as far back as 2000 that while the president or governors, vice president and deputy governors cannot be arrested or prosecuted while in office, they can be investigated. And there have been other cases along that line. So, and I know, again, Ida wrote the petition. A judge was fired 2 years ago for giving 7 court orders that certain people should not be arrested or prosecuted. Ida collected the 7 cases and wrote a petition to the NJC. I represented Ida at the hearing, and the NJC came to the conclusion that the judge set out to deliberately frustrate the anti-corruption war being prosecuted in the country by conferring immunity, because that is the implication, on individuals. There is no immunity against investigation, and therefore, if we strengthen the capacity of our agencies to fight corruption, we do not need to rely on any external force. And for governors, let me also say this. By virtue of Section 52 of the ICC Act, Nigeria has the equivalent of the Independent Council in the United States. It was felt by the legislators that there may be a situation where the anti-graft agencies would not want to investigate a sitting president or a sitting governor. And so Section 52 allows you, and I do hope we can take a decision here, allows individuals, concerned individuals, and organizations to request the Chief Justice of Nigeria to appoint an independent counsel to investigate an officer who enjoys immunity. And we can start with Kano State. If we do that, we have also taken the battle to a higher pedestal. So my final point is that outside the shores of Nigeria, apart from the president, nobody enjoys immunity. And that was the point made by the House of Lords, I think, in the case of DSP, Alamesia, when he was arrested in the United Kingdom and he pleaded immunity. And it was made clear that you can't talk of 36 governors and the president of Nigeria enjoying immunity all over the world. The only immunity recognized in international law is that of the president of your country. So the point I'm making therefore is that I think we have a couple of laws, body of laws that have taken care of corruption in our country. What is now required is now to strengthen the anti-graft agencies and ensure that they deal with all cases of corruption, be it involving officials of the government of the day. The case I was talking about, because somebody told me, oh, why the ICC cannot even get involved? Assuming that jurisdiction is the fact that the Buhari government was involved in this case. And we replied, and I think we have all forgotten this. The government set up a panel to investigate the diversion of the fund meant for procurement of arms. The panel had dealt with the army. It was when it was investigating, no, it had dealt with the Air Force, which is why Biden and others are standing trial. It was when it was investigating the army, and a sitting minister was fingered, a serving chief of army staff was fingered. That was the end of the investigation. So we also said the government is unwilling to investigate and prosecute those who are involved, in that matter. And I do hope that a forum like this will also call on the Buhari regime to ensure that that investigation is concluded. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Femi Falana. And I think while he was speaking, somebody that we cannot ignore his presence did come in. If I am not wrong, I think Mr. Omoyele Sowore came in. He's one of the presidential aspirants.
Now we can do that.
Thank you very much. So, it is a working meeting. It is not a job. And what we would like to do, we have so many ideas have been put on the table. I want to state that what is important, I think I must say that Mr. Femi Falana has not said that it is impossible to use the ICC mechanism. He has only highlighted, and he has in fact told us how he tried to use the ICC mechanism, but he has only highlighted what political challenges there are to using the ICC mechanism as there are to using other international mechanisms. But he's not wholly saying that it is completely impossible. So we're not ruling it out in our engagement, because that was where we started from. And we did agree that the reason why he did what he did when he submitted a communication to the ICC then was because he wanted to put it forward that it is possible to think along that line. And we can continue to add and pile on that and through that endeavor push the boundaries. That is one. But Mr. Falana, before you came in, we got a commitment from, what seems like a commitment from the representative of the Attorney General that they would even be willing to make a statement when they go before the Human Rights Council?
Before the 17th session of the Assembly of State Parties.
Okay, to the ICC. To include, this here towards the amendment of the treaty. So there are so many commitments that have been made here. Even the EFCC has said to us that we can count on their cooperation when it comes to the quality of evidence that we will need, especially when it comes to tracing. And to bring, to even, in criminology, we will say that it is, I think the last topic we will usually take in my criminology class is that when the state is criminal. Usually we spend the 15 weeks on when the individual is criminal and when small corporations are criminal. But when the state itself is the criminal, so we do the etiology of the criminal state and things like that. So I think it's important that we bring all of this together in our discussions. We raise questions, we push the frontiers, but this is work. And our goal, remember, starting point, ideas have consequences. And the ideas that we push forward today are the ideas that we will build strategy around and then see if we can force a change. But before I open the floor for discussions, I'm told that we have the representative of the Archbishop of Lagos with us, and she has been Catholic, JDPC. I think has been with us for some time. Today and has to go, and he has a goodwill message that he has been asked
to. Thank you very much. All protocols duly observed. I'm Reverend Father Raymond Anole from the Director of Justice Development and Peace Center of the Archdiocese of Lagos, and I'm here to represent His Grace, the Most Reverend Alfred at the Wale Mountains. He got the letter for this program and he was delighted about it, and he equally sent a reply and equally asked that I'll be here in my office to give his goodwill message. And his goodwill message is very simple. We are all in this country together, and we're all bothered about the spate of insecurity and of course corruption being a hotbed. But he has asked that I say this. In Latin we say sanatio in radice, which means healing from the roots. That oftentimes we treat the symptoms and not the disease. So in going after illicit funds across borders and all of that, I like what Mr. Femi Falana said, and of course most of the other speakers. Thank God I was here from the beginning, so I have a lot of reports to give to His Grace when I see him later. The fact that sometimes we deal, the last speaker just said it, the moderator said it now, we deal with the individuals who are corrupt, and we bother less about the state that is corrupt. But then in healing from the roots, we want to go to the root cause of that corruption. We want to get to what are those factors that bring about these corrupt practices in us as individuals, and of course as a community or as a nation state. He did ask that I also let us know that going after those countries where these funds have been stashed is as fundamental as going after the petty ones we have here. But still on the principle of healing from the roots, can we get ourselves, the NGOs, the civil society organizations, the states, the government, and all the social accountability tools that we have around, can we get them to be more effective here in our country from our own place? When we begin to deal with corruption fair and square here, then I'm sure others from outside, like all the examples that were given, will take us a lot more seriously. And when we ask that our funds be repatriated, they will probably not tell us how to use the money or where to do, what to do with it, because they will know that we are capable of dealing with these issues ourselves. On behalf of His Grace, I want to wish us a very memorable and wonderful celebration. Thank you very much. I have another appointment at 2 o'clock, so I need to leave now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And please, greetings to His Grace. Thank you very much. Okay, so now it's time to work, and the floor is open. I would imagine that Mr. Sowore has not just come here. So, you know, he must be, he's come here because he wants to be part of the work. I see his Bible has been traveling all across the paper. So I would like to ask, you would like to make some...
Yes, I can make
yes.
Yeah.
Now or later?
Well, I have to go for another meeting as well.
Okay, so, yes, I think I will just open the floor with him, and so that if he has to leave, that we would have had the benefit of his perspective on the how we can take this forward, and then we'll take on other comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and thank you, the organizers of today's event. I just came in from the UK this morning, and I found something very interesting about Nigeria. There was a flight attendant who was fighting a woman who was asking for wine. She was so vociferous on the plane that the woman had to call her supervisor to talk to her. And they eventually found her a type of wine. After drinking it, of course, I'm always sitting around in the plane. I met the flight attendants at the back of the plane, asking themselves, why is this woman so vociferous about wine? If there are this many activists on the plane in Nigeria, why is Nigeria so messed up? You know, this was the conversation they were having at the back. These are not Nigerians. And this tells me that people are watching us. And they are watching us all the time. They are watching us from all angles. And when we discuss how the international community can help us, I laugh a lot because I have traveled in international wars. And they are not there to help you. In fact, they are not there to save the world. In fact, the NGO business, as it is, as we know it, is not meant to save the world. It's meant to paper over a lot of cracks that is happening internationally, so that the people on the other side, on the western side of the world, continue to make the people in the global south, as they call us, they have even named us geographically, with pity. And for us to get out of this pity, we have a singular duty to appoint, elect, or choose for ourselves people who can speak for the continent of Africa, people who can take the bull by the horn in Nigeria. I'm speaking because I've acted as a special counsel in the corruption ward, all by myself in this country. You can name anybody that has been corrupt, that have prosecuted them on my own on the internet. Starting from Ebori to, even at the time, the EFCC had a chairperson who was more corrupt than the corrupt people in town. That was Farida Waziri. We have seen a lot in this country. And with due respect, I overheard the person from the Federal Ministry of Justice who was saying that they will make a presentation at the ICC when they go there. With due respect to you, they don't respect you. Don't waste your time. Before we can have those kind of respectable conversations, you need to have an Attorney General that is respected, that is believed to be, that's willing to fight corruption. Not your type of Attorney General. Not a Solicitor General who was aiding and abetting the Senate President when he was going trial for corruption. I'm saying this to you because this is what I do for a living. Before I became a presidential I'm just giving you so that you can get the nuggets. Yeah. That from the top to the bottom, from the presidency to the person who's carrying the files in your agencies, and there's nobody respect us. Nobody respects you enough. And until we change our players on the international scene, then it is then that we can even change the Rome Statute ourselves. We can either decide that the type of, the Rome Statute we sign up to are the ones that are applicable to our own problems, not the ones that are applicable to the problems of the rest of the world. Because we are the ones who are always being forced to sign to these treaties that don't help us. I was hearing Vice Chairman saying that London is the most corrupt real estate place in the world. No, the most corrupt street in the world is Wall Street in New York. That is where all of these criminal transactions are taking place. And they are not interested, with due respect. They are not interested in ending the outflow of financial resources. Because that's how they build their cities. It's the way they build their countries. It's the way they enrich themselves at our expense. This part of the world is where they take the resources, the raw materials from, and whenever they can find a thief bold enough to bring in more, they are happy to provide lawyers, the forensic accountants, the banking system that makes it possible. So what I'll say, without discountenancing what we are doing today, is that we need to change the players if we want to win the game. It's as simple as that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sowore. And I think that aside that his concluding statement, the thrust of his message really is that in conceptualizing the war against corruption, you need to look at and I think somebody earlier on, also Mr. Falano had alluded to it, the dominant economic ideology that is driving even your politics. And the bottom line is that in a laissez-faire capitalist world, there are interests that are served even by some of these things that we say we are warring against, and it is just not to lose sight of it, to understand the intersections, so that in the strategy we will move ahead. And I think that the other point which he has made, and which has been underscored by the argument that we must strengthen the domestic first, is that it is when the domestic appears really committed that the international will get a sense that we truly are consistent, we're walking our talk. So thank you very much, and we continue with our work, and may I invite others who have contributions. And I want to plead that we do not make this just citing with examples of. Let us get back And that's why after each presentation, I did some highlight. How do we translate that into what is workable so that we build consensus around that and we identify who the actors in respect of each of those issues should be, and we enter into commitments as part of the way forward. So please, not an opportunity to give us illustrations and to demonstrate the size of the problem. The reason we all left home this morning is we knew the size of the problem is huge. So I have Mr. Obama, you will get all the chance. You have a whole session devoted to you. I will start with 1, 2, 3, and Mr. Obama, if there is room, I will come back to you. But because I know that you're on the agenda, I know you'll get an opportunity to make some interventions that will also add value. So let's start with those 3 comments first. Please, let's make it sharp and concise.
Okay, I'll be very brief. I just want to say that I don't think we can successfully fight corruption unless we address a new form of corruption, which is a kind of crime being committed by the state